Check 1, 2. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to Intel Stack. I'm going to let a couple more folks come in here real quick. Welcome in, Tim. Welcome in, Fried. On the screen, you guys are looking at a Hellfire missile. Thank you very much. Warwatch, welcome in. Gonna let a few more folks trickle in here. Much appreciated for y'all joining tonight. Just making a real quick post here on the Discord. If you'd be so kind, thumb me up, share the stream, subscribe if you're new here. If y'all can do me a favor, hit that bell notification icon. That way you guys know when I go live or post a video or whatnot. I'm sure most of you all know me. I am the Swiller over at Warwatch Intel. You see Warwatch Intel here in the chat. He is the genius that has put us together. I appreciate him for giving us the spot to hang out and whatnot. It's quite a special place, Warwatch is. It's been my online home for a little over a year now. I was in the stream before 1,000 likes. Yeah, please, Tim, please do so. I was in the stream before 1,000 subs, and Frost was nice enough to add me to his crew and give us the lovely community, Warwatch Intel. Almost 10,000 subscribers strong over there. Almost 900 now on Discord over there. I'm going to have to get a couple more hands here and pin Warwatch into the chat. But yeah, so figured I would intro y'all to what I plan on doing over here, to what Frost and myself and Fried Potatoes have concocted up in the depths of Discord and whatnot. And welcome to Intel Stack. This is going to be the home for deep diving topics. Tonight, a little bit later, we're going to talk about Venezuela. This is going to be a pretty short stream for what it normally is. Like I said, just wanted to touch base on the channel. talk about some of the things that we are going to cover over here. Because as you know, Static Shift has changed back to Warwatch Intel, back into its most fitting form, in my opinion. And glad we have it back. So here on Intel Stack, we are going to deep dive into a lot of different topics, mostly military related, geopolitics, skirmishes around the world, China and Taiwan, US and Venezuela right now. I already mentioned Venezuela a little earlier. And it's going to be more than just the cursory, 5-minute talk about it before we move on to the next subject type of a thing. And we're going to get pretty deep into the things that make things tick, the things that make things go boom. As mentioned, I have a picture of a Hellfire up on the screen right now. AGM 114 Hellfire to be exact. Many variants of that weapon, and you've been seeing these used to take out the narco boats down in Venezuela. We have also seen some other kinetic weaponry used, and I'm pretty sure one time we've also seen a laser used to ignite some fuel on a boat. One of the very first instances that we have, when you see the boat go up into flames, you notice that there's no shrapnel in the water around it. We took out our 8th boat today, this time on the western side of South America, the Eastern Pacific. Freaking laser beams indeed. Out in the Eastern Pacific. And 4 people in the boat, I believe, today. The last boat that we hit down there on the western side of the Atlantic Ocean in the Caribbean, 2 folks survived. U.S. picked them up in a helicopter. They repatriated them, one to Ecuador, one to Colombia. One of them is pretty severely injured and I believe in a coma still, sedated. The other one, much less injuries. And their government, I believe the Ecuadorian, they're saying is he didn't do anything to commit a crime. And my question would be, well, then what in the hell else are you doing in a semi-submersible boat in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? You're not fishing. You're halfway underwater. You ain't fishing. You just out joyriding the submersible because, that's the cool thing to do. Who needs skiing when you can just chill in a semi-submersible, I guess. So at any rate, we've been down there messing around. So we'll talk a little bit about that, talk about a little bit of the hardware that's being used down there and whatnot. Also, we're going to use this space to maybe at times get into some politics. I know that we have some folks around from all different spectrums that join us on the Warwatch chat. So maybe a little bit down the road, we might delve into a little bit of politics. I want to create a space that we could talk about things, that we could share ideas, that nobody's going to look at somebody and say, F you, because you're standing on that side of the aisle and I don't like you, those people. I want to create a place that ideas can be shared without ostracizing each other. And I think that's possible. And I think YouTube's going to give us the place for that. So I appreciate anybody and everybody who has came in so far. And we're going to move right along. All right. So in August 2025, we began deploying some warships personnel to the Caribbean, specifically to combat the drug cartels that are down there. We have a list. I read an article today of 20 different groups that we have designated as either a drug cartel, or a terrorist organization along those lines. Tren de Aragua being one of the biggest ones on there. Of course, MS-13 on the list. Apparently, this is a secret list. Mark Kelly from Congress, he requested to see the list and was denied from the article that I read today. I still have a little more research to do on that. But we're going after a lot down there. So we have the potential action in Venezuela, potential action in Colombia now, and also potential strikes against cartel strongholds in Mexico, which is an interesting development in and of itself. Maybe a good topic for another deep dive video down the road. We have been boats in the water, planes in the air down there. As I mentioned, using those Hellfires and other munitions to sink suspected narco boats. In some cases, there's been claims that they were fishing boats. In other cases, there's been no refuting the fact that a particular boat was a drug boat or not. It is definitely putting pressure on Maduro down there in Venezuela to get his crap together, which I don't think he will be doing anytime soon. But, stranger things have happened. I mentioned there's been 8 strikes, 7 in the Atlantic, 1 in the Pacific. The one in the Pacific occurred off the coast of Colombia. So as I mentioned, potential action into Colombia. They have not necessarily done much to curb the flow of go-go dust coming up this way. There are some questions about the legality of it. I'm personally for it, legal or not. I mean, I shouldn't say it like that, but I think that a lot of things are done based on the spirit of laws. And I don't think that taking out narco boats goes against the spirit of any law. I get due process and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, we have the plausible deniability of international waters. So, it is what it is type of a situation. But we do have a lot of hardware down in the area down there. We've got destroyers. I believe we've got a missile cruiser. I believe we've got a missile submarine down there. They tend to keep those movements quiet. We've got an amphibious group down there. There's up to 20,000 Marines in Puerto Rico right now. And on that amphibious group that I had mentioned. Ospreys. We've got P-8s down there. We've got B-52s that have made transits to the area, potentially drawing objects in the sky with their radar track. It's quite the potential. And I think 20,000 of our best soldiers down there is a force to be reckoned with. It's not something that Venezuela should take lightly. Nor do I think that, anybody should. The United States is a great military. If you served, if you're a veteran, thank you very much for your service. It is more than appreciated in my household. I have several family members who have served over the years. Great grandfather in World War II, grandfather in Vietnam, stepdad in Vietnam, couple who are no longer with us as well, served in the Navy, and I think both of them served in the Navy, if I remember correctly. But at any rate, military and tradition not lost on this channel, on this household, or this community. For those just joining, welcome in to the Intel Stack live stream on the Intel Stack channel here on YouTube. If you're new around here, please subscribe. Hit that like button, share the stream on your social medias. Much appreciated. And hit that bell notification icon. I'm going to work on getting myself a little cheat sheet over here that I have links over to the Warwatch Discord and the Warwatch YouTube channel. If you are coming here and you don't know what Warwatch is, it's a great open source intelligence community. Hell, it is the best damn open source intelligence community on the internet. We definitely bring the news, the information, and the recon. If you're a recon crew member over there, much appreciated as well. Now, we were mentioning Venezuela, mentioned Colombia. Everything ties to everything ties to Mexico, and that's how the drugs get here. Um, there's definitely some work to be done there. It's unfortunate that um, the government in Mexico doesn't do more. I mean, it's clear that they are in the pocket of the cartels. I mean, there's a lot of money to go around down there. It's kind of an unfortunate, understandable event. But at the same time, it is something that I think needs to be dealt with, and it's been something that has gone on for way too long. The other day, I saw a perfect meme, and it was a picture of Obama, on a telephone saying, "I want to negotiate," and it had a Hamas terrorist saying, "I'm going to blow shit up." Underneath it, it had Biden with the same thing, "I want to negotiate," and the terrorist, and it said, "I'm going to blow shit up." And then underneath that, it had a picture of Trump on the phone, and Trump said, "I'm going to blow shit up." And the terrorist said, "I want to negotiate." And it's kind of funny how that it rings true. You'd like to think that diplomacy works more often than not, and it probably does. There's probably times that diplomacy works that we don't even hear that it's worked. But you always hear when the threat of force works. You hear when it doesn't work, but you always hear when it works. And I think that we are going to see some changes coming up here soon that in the situation down in Venezuela that's going to force a change in the status quo. As some folks like to put it, I really think there's going to be some warheads on foreheads in Venezuela. I think that with midterms coming up, there's a chance that nothing happens until after the midterms. That would be a whole year from now. The Republicans spent a lot of time painting, being painted. Sorry, the Democrats spent a lot of time painting the Republicans to be warmongers. When Ukraine came around, the Republicans had a chance to kind of do it back. Even though I agree with the aid that went to Ukraine, but that's a whole different live stream. But now the Democrats, they see what's going on down there. Oh, look, there's the Republicans again. They're screaming for war, beating the war drums. So as you can tell, it's a mess, politically speaking, which is going to make it a mess geopolitically speaking, which is going to make it a mess on the ground. I hope that we don't have to put any boots on the ground and this gets handled and resolved peacefully. But I highly doubt that's to be the case. If we're already hitting their boats, pretty soon we're going to go after their ports or harbors or things along those lines under the auspice of, well, they were going to be in international waters anyways, and they had cocaine on board or whatever, a drug of choice coming out of there, precursors for fentanyl or whatever it is. So we had to blow it up when it was in port. And, once we blew it up in port, we were able to see where they came from. So we blew the building up that it came from. And it's just, spirals from there. But at any rate, I mentioned that I wanted to make this live stream quick. I was looking for about a 20-minute stream, and we're just creeping up on there. I wanted this to be a quick intro to the channel. So again, if you are one of the folks in here with me tonight, I definitely thank you for being here tonight. I got to go get on some dad duty. I can hear the shower running in the background, and I got to go be a good neighbor. One of my neighbors was on vacation. She broke her foot, asked if I can go bring her garbage cans down to the street for her, which I got to go run over there and do my good deed for the day. On that note, if y'all got a chance to be good to a neighbor, to be good to a friend, to be good to a family member, take that chance to do it. Life is too short to be a dick about things, to put it bluntly. So I'm going to go do my good deed, get some karma points for the day. Hopefully it pans out at some point. You never know. If y'all are going to be leaving me here, make sure you head over to the War Watch Intel YouTube channel for the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week live stream. Frost over there, War Watch Intel in the chat here, puts on some great content, great monitoring 7 days a week, not to mention a couple of separate dedicated live streams. If you're into video games, check out MetaShift. If you need some positivity in your life, check out Mindshift. And definitely check out the War Watch Intel Discord. Again, if you're new around here, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Give this stream a thumbs up. Keep your eye out for new content coming down the road, and hit that bell notification icon so you know when the new content arrives, or when I go live. I'll be here to cover breaking news in the background of War Watch when maybe Frost War Watch is away from the computer. We'll start the live coverage over here, and then we're going to go into war mode over in War Watch and bring you all the intel, all the information, all the facts. Because I can say it over here. Facts, not fear, baby. That's what we're all about. At any rate, I wish everybody has a fantastic evening. This is Swiller. We are in stack. I am out.